What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and tonight I've got some football focus. The Pittsburgh Steelers just finished their Week 14 matchup of the 2023 NFL season, Thursday Night Football, prime time, against the New England Patriots. Patriots coming in here to Pittsburgh at 2-10, benching the inept Matt Jones for the slightly less inept Bailey Zappi. Patriots, one of the worst teams in the league, most likely the worst team in the AFC. So, of course, that means Pittsburgh is due for another big loss. People watching this Thursday night game were not very enthused for Bailey Zappi against Mitch Trubisky. Pittsburgh was coming off of the worst loss of not only this season, but the last couple seasons to the Arizona Cardinals. This stretch of the season should have been really good for us. We came in 2 weeks back with 7 wins. It's 7-4. And Pittsburgh really should have been sitting at the end of this week at 9-4. This should have been a spot for us to really be in the divisional race and pretty much have locked up with 9 wins with this much time left, heading into either a divisional battle at the end of the season against the Ravens or locking up that 5 seed, that first wildcard spot, because you're playing against 2 of the 3 or 4 worst teams in the entire NFL. We sat here 2 weeks back. Pittsburgh gets some big divisional wins. The defense starts coming together and getting healthy. We fire Matt Canada. The offense comes out, even though they didn't score a ton of points, and gets a 400-yard game for the first time in a long time. Kenny Pickett starts to look good. Everything starts to come together, and we get excited for the possibilities of getting healthy and getting a better coordinator, having our quarterback progress, and coming into the weakest part of our schedule against 2 teams in a row that are 2-10. Looking to, like I said, either be in the finals for the division or have that 5th seed locked up by the end of this 2 weeks. We now sit here at 7-6. We just lost 2 weeks in a row to the 2-10 Cardinals and the 2-10 Patriots. I understand we're injured. We came in this week with 2 offensive line injuries. Both guys wound up playing tonight. Najee was banged up. He played tonight. Highsmith got injured in this game and did not return. Watt got injured in this game again, but did return. We came in with a lot of guys banged up. Obviously, Mitch Trubisky playing for Kenny Pickett, who's out for the next 2 to 4 weeks, and he can't get back fast enough. Let me read you Mitch Trubisky's stats, and we'll talk about him isolated for a second here. Obviously, if you can't pick up by my tone, Pittsburgh just lost again. We lost to Bailey Zappi and the Patriots. An offense so inept, they've been shut out last week with 0 points. They've been shut out twice in the same season. People are calling for Bill frickin' Belichick to get fired, and that's the guy that just came out and beat us tonight. That's how bad this team is. They want their Hall of Fame coach to get fired. Bailey Zappi is the name of a 90s one-hit wonder pop idol star. That's what he sounds like, and he's beating us out here. This is disgusting. Mitch Trubisky, 22 of 35, 190 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Also had 8 carries for 30 yards and a touchdown. Doesn't sound that bad on the stat sheet, right? Mitch Trubisky should have had 3 or 4 picks in this game. The one that he threw was so incredibly behind and late on this play. I don't know where he was throwing that ball to. Very easy pick for them. Another pick happened earlier in the game, but a guy was called for pass interference, which was the right call. But another pick got called back, and then at least 2 others got dropped in this game. So Trubisky easily could have had 4. He only had 1, but could have had 4. He did not look like a veteran out there. I saw a lot of first couple of games of Kenny Pickett's career in Trubisky tonight. I saw a lot of Chase Young. Chase Young's the defensive end. Carolina quarterback Bryce Young. I'm tired. I saw a lot of Bryce Young tonight and Mitch Trubisky. Trubisky's in his 7th or 8th season? He's going to try to play for a 3rd contract that hopefully he doesn't get. My God. But he looks like a rookie out there. If you watched him tonight, and I understand the play calling was conservative, we'll get into that. But if you watch Mitch Trubisky tonight, his feet looked very happy feetish. He was bouncing around. He looked very unsturdy. He was catching the snaps. There were a couple low snaps tonight. Mason Cole didn't play great again tonight. This week, the weather is no excuse, but he came in banged up. Mason Cole didn't play great tonight. But Mitch Trubisky was catching the snaps very bobbly. He was taking a lot of steps back, big 7-step dropbacks. He was looking very bouncy on his feet. He was not looking very comfortable. His eyes were kind of darting around. He was looking for the first read, and if he wasn't finding his first read wide open, he tucked his head down and looked to run. That's what I complained about Kenny Pickett doing his first couple starts of his first season. That's what I see Bryce Young doing. He steps back, He has guys in the backfield already trying to sack him. He looks for one read, and then he looks to run or throw the ball away. Mitch Trubisky was just giving up. He was putting his head down and either getting a 3-yard run and getting tackled or throwing the ball away. A lot of the stuff he was throwing, he wasn't looking at coverage. He was going with design plays. Once down the field, he threw the ball on the outside to Deontay, was nowhere near him. The guy was covered completely. Another play, he was going downfield for a one-on-one, had no shot to make it, overshot it by 5 yards. Another play, he threw a mid-screen pass to Jaylen Warren, who had 3 guys on him. Warren wasn't even visible on the play. I had to watch the replay 4 times to find Jaylen Warren for this intended screen pass because that was the call and Mitch could not go to a different read. That's the problem. When you got a veteran quarterback like this is supposed to not happen in the NFL. I can understand your first year. I can understand your second year. When you're a veteran guy like this who had an alternate Pro Bowl year in Chicago, you should not be that nervous, that skittery on your feet, that one-dimensional with your eyes, that nervous with your arm. He looked so bad tonight. The stats don't do it justice. He got one nice touchdown pass to Deontay. He threw a one-on-one ball up. Deontay located the ball in the air and beat his guy one-on-one, made a nice touchdown catch. But even still, again, this is the Patriots we're talking about. This team is terrible on all fronts. Pittsburgh goes out and gets down 21-3 initially. Bailey Zappi was torching us as if it was Tom Brady in his frickin' prime, torching us. Problem on defense. Defense, obviously, I'm going to give good second half marks to. They gave no points up in the second half and got a turnover and a couple sacks. But in the first half, a lot of problems. Number one, no pressure. I know Alex Highsmith went out at some point in this game, but even when he was in there, no real pressures. No pressures by Cam, by Highsmith, by Watt. When Nick Herbig came in, he was around the ball a lot more, but he wasn't getting a lot of pressures. We did finish with 2 sacks, I think both in the second half, but we were not getting enough pressure. And I don't care if it's Bailey Zappi, if it's a second-string quarterback who was cut in preseason. If you're not getting any pressure, they're going to find somebody open. His best completion of the day, he had a nice play to Juju. Good to see Juju out there again. Wish it wasn't against us. But Juju made a nice catch that was contested. Then the really nice touchdown pass to Hunter Henry. Problem was, we had the same issue in coverage that we always have. JPJ is really good out there. Patrick Peterson has played much better since Porter's gotten out there. Minka Fitzpatrick is around the ball making third down tackles. Those things are always solid for our secondary. The problem we have in our secondary, just like tonight, was we cannot cover the tight ends over the middle of the field, and we cannot cover running backs out of the backfield. Those slots, those middles, those sit down in the zone plays are always wide open. Zeke Elliott had a lot of yardage tonight. Didn't have a high yards per carry or anything, but had like 60 on the ground, had another, 30 or 40 through the air. He was catching a lot of stuff out of the backfield and taking short plays into long plays. And Hunter Henry wound up with like 60, 70 yards and 2 touchdowns tonight. He's an older guy. He's a really underrated tight end, solid guy, but older, slower guy that just got wide open and made one catch in the back of the end zone over our middle linebackers and another one where he got up over somebody. I didn't see the number. I think it was Trenton Thompson. But Trenton Thompson's coverage tonight wasn't great overall, even though he's playing physically. Let's get to the rest of the offensive stats. Anyway, Pittsburgh gets down 21-3. Comes down at the end of the first half. Mitch gets the nice touchdown pass to Deontay, who finds the ball in the air, gets in the end zone. Ever since then, Pittsburgh gets some momentum. New England scores 0 points in the second half. Unfortunately, Pittsburgh only scores 8. We get an interception where the defense gives us the ball inside like the 12-yard line, and we couldn't get 12 yards. We went for it on 4th and inches and didn't get it, 4th and 3 and didn't get it. So we wind up getting a turnover inside the 12 and can't cash in. Next possession, we get a blocked punt from Miles Killebrew, and then eventually Mitch does sneak it in and get a touchdown. But you got to maximize your opportunities, especially against teams like this. You're playing for your season. I mean, Pittsburgh was sitting in the hot seat in a positive way in the 5th seed at 7-4. Even losing last week at 7-5, Cleveland lost and the Colts are still behind us. We still had the 5th seed. We were still in control of our own destiny as far as the wild card goes, and we come out and lose to a 2-10 hapless Patriots team who's playing backups. Really, really bad. Najee Harris, 12 carries, 29 yards. Jaylen Warren, 7 carries, 11 yards. The play calling is a big part of this too today. I'm going to put most of this blame on Mitch, but the running backs didn't help us a ton tonight either. 2 of our guys, Sayamalu and Cole, both came in playing hurt. Sayamalu played pretty well. Cole did not tonight. Cole gets a minus along with Trubisky. Najee had a couple nice runs, just staying on his feet. Warren did most of his positive damage as a pass catcher. He had another maybe 30 or 40 yards. As a receiver, that was his best work tonight. Running the ball, we didn't do a ton, so negative marks for the running backs on the ground as well. The best thing we did running the ball tonight consistently was Mitch picking up 3rd and 4th downs with the tush-push play, or whatever you want to call it in Pittsburgh. Deontay Johnson, 3 catches, 57 yards, and a touchdown. Most of his damage was done on that one play. Once again, not targeting George Pickens nearly enough. Had 5 catches, just 19 yards. Get that guy some shots downfield. I don't care what defense you're playing or how bad they are. If you're not taking shots downfield at all and you're not opening up different routes or giving guys a chance to get the ball, whether they're open or not, if they're one-on-one, give your guys a shot, extend the field a little bit, stretch the field, make them fear us a little bit. When you start to run all short plays and checkdowns and you're doing this checkdown offense, guys are going to put guys in the box, key on the run game, key on the short pass game, much like we do against bad teams, and they definitely did against us. Defensively, Michael Walker gets the interception off of a tip-ball from Landon Roberts. Roberts plays the run game really well. Not a good cover guy. Neither is Walker really. But Landon Roberts plays gets a hand in between the tight end trying to catch the ball, tips it up. Michael Walker picks it and returns it to the 12. We didn't cash in, but I got to tell you, Michael Walker, I don't know what his contract's going to be at the end of the season. He's a veteran guy. We picked him up off practice squad, but Michael Walker is a solid veteran who's played pretty well considering he's the 4th or 5th inside linebacker on this team. We've got a mass unit out there, and I got to tell you, Mark Robinson has to be absolutely terrible to keep getting guys signed over him and starting over him. I know some of these guys are veterans, but they just brought in Blake Martinez this week, and I think Blake Martinez had as many snaps as Robinson did. Robinson, mostly a special teams guy. Robinson's got to be so bad if all these guys are coming in off practice squad and starting immediately over him. He goes from having 3 guys signed this offseason to make him the fourth inside linebacker, and then 3 guys get hurt and he still can't get on the field. He's got to be absolutely terrible. That being said, Michael Walker, for his position, is playing pretty well. Bring that guy in this offseason. 2 sacks today. 1 for Landon Roberts, who has played pretty well overall. 1 for Cam Hayward, who made made a big 3rd down stop, had a nice sack. I think he had a batted ball as well. He's played pretty decent out there. Still a little banged up, still a little slowing down in his older age, but played pretty well. Nick Herbig came in, had 4 tackles, had a couple pursuits of the quarterback later in the game. Really good guy to have. He's advanced now apparently to the 3rd outside linebacker instead of 4th like he was. Alex Highsmith went out in this game. Sorry for the plane in the background. Hopefully he comes back healthy, but Herbig played well in his stead. JPJ had a nice pass deflection on a 3rd down play. Once again, our corners are playing really well against our wide receiver coverage. JPJ has another good game today. He's been shutting guys down like crazy. Patrick Peterson's gotten a lot better since Porter's been in there. Peterson did give up 1 big catch downfield to Juju Smith-Schuster, but he played coverage nicely and put his hand in there, and Juju just made the nice play. It was either Peterson or KZ, I forget which. But all in all, the DBs played well against the wide receivers tonight. It was just really Ezekiel Elliott and Hunter Henry that were really chewing us up as far as downfield stuff. So a few positives there. Special teams-wise, Miles Killebrew, I think it's his 2nd block punt of the season, 2nd or 3rd. He's making himself known out there. Good block punt for Killebrew, setting up our touchdown to put us in a good place. Mitch gets the quarterback sneaking for the touchdown. 2-point conversion to Freiermuth. I will say they used Freiermuth in short yardage situations today, which was a positive. They also had 1 nice play to Darnell Washington, which is good to see him out there. Chris Boswell 1 for 1 with a field goal. Presley Harvin 6 punts, 267 yards. That is a 44.5 per punt average, and 1 of those 6 inside the 20. So I'm going to give Harvin a negative mark in spite of the average per punt rating because only 1 gets inside the 20. Like I said, overall, play calling is bad. Run game doesn't help. Trubisky plays horribly tonight. Mason Cole plays bad. Defensively, the first half is atrocious with no pressure, with bad inside linebacker play, not getting off the field on 3rd downs. All in all, again, you cannot look at this as anything except an abject failure. Pittsburgh came in 2 weeks ago at 7-4. They are now 7-6. They are, I think now, the 7 seed playing for their lives, once again aiming toward another middling 9-8 season, the definition of average mediocrity, another 9-8 season. Normally, sometimes Tomlin can rally us to 9-8 and the city loves it. Right now, we should be like I said, battling for division or at the very least locking up that 5th spot with 9 wins. Now we're going to be fighting to the end of the season to try and get to 9-8 just to keep that Tomlin record. So not feeling too good about this. Not feeling good about play calling, coaching, quarterback play, injuries, any of it. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments below how fast 2 weeks can change morale. Tell me who impressed you and who did not. Please like, share, and subscribe these deep dives if you enjoy these videos and like seeing me agonize in pain and screaming over the Steelers. And I will see you guys next week. Take care, friends.